live happened? Oh, please let her go get her eyebrows done, Lord. Yes. Why is she waiting? Hi, family. Come in. Hi. Come in and join me. I can't wait to see you and talk to you, see what's going on with you. Check in. Hi. So while we're waiting for people to get the live and come in, I was thinking about what to call my my hive, like hi people, HAI. So I was thinking about highlights. I mean lights. What if we're lights? So it'll be like hi lights. I'm going somewhere with that, I think. You have to let me know if that works. HAI, highlights, like that, right? Let me share this while you guys are listening to my classical music. And we're like fixing to do some pulls and stuff. I want you to say hey when you come in, hit the like. Let's get started with some questions. Today is Friday. The card for today is adjustment. So today is about balancing back out. Isn't that a good kind of day to have for Friday? Yes. Hi, Jill. So today's balancing back out. So whatever you did too much of all week, you're going to balance it back out today by doing other. What else needs to be done? If you don't know, we can ask the pendulum and get you some clarity if that's what you need. I think my current mission is a lot of tasks. I have a lot to get done, and it's just about kind of working through them. So if you have stuff like that, or if you're not sure where to start next, we can pull for it. Of course, before we start pulling, before we start touching the cards, we'll do some grounding while I'm hanging out with you guys. And hopefully we'll have some questions that come across. And, if you have a question, even a question about tarot, those are even greater. Any questions you have about tarot, I love to ask. So I'm going to start creating some content for people who are a little bit less familiar with it. And I was trying to think of what are the questions I'm asked mostly about it. And of course, I draw a complete blank. It's been a while since I've been out doing events and having people come up to my table and ask me all those questions. I wish I would have written them down as they were being asked to me. But I know some of them were like, do I have to believe in the devil to do tarot, or do I have to believe in magic, or do you have to believe in me even? And what is it necessary to believe in order to do tarot? And you don't have to believe in anything. Tarot, it's energy, and you have energy. And that's evidenced in a lot of different ways, but whether or not that's something you subscribe to won't affect the fact that you have it. And that's what I'm pulling, and that's what we do with tarot. So the way I respect the art is that your energy matches the energy on the card. And that's why when I pull it, it matches whatever, I can tell what does that mean? What does that point to? What does that mean for what you should be learning in this moment? So that's kind of what tarot is. It's a reading of energy. And then what you do with it, that's up to you. One of the things that is a little bit less fun about the idea of getting a tarot reading, I think, is that you feel like once you get the information, you have to do something. Like you have to get up and go change it. You have to modify yourself. There's going to be more work for you to do. And none of us want more crap on our plates. Most of us don't want any more crap on our plates. Nobody wants any crap on their plates at all, but more things to do. And so the idea that, okay, I'm going to be asking for an answer. And, once you get the answer, then you have to move. That's not necessarily so. The answer changes as time changes. And just being aware of something can make other options or obstacles clear that you might not have seen. Like if you didn't know that right now, the biggest thing for you to focus on is generosity, and you're busy being upset about, I don't know, somebody stubbed your toe, you might miss out on a whole lot of goodness the energy has for you if you were supposed to, if there's generosity to learn from. So today I really kind of wanted to talk about, I don't want my little dreadlocks to show. Okay. Today I really wanted to talk about what do we think works? Based on the people who do the thing, what works? And I want to do it on a scale of happiness. So who's happier? Let's see. And I'll give you a would you, it's kind of like, I'll give you two choices. Who's happier? Fat people or skinny people? Which do you think? I'll put my vote in. Who do I think is happier? There's my answer. we're gonna try to find the happiest people. So who is happier? Skinny people or fat people? Let's see if we get any answers. See how honest we're gonna be. Happier. Who laughs more? Who has a better time? Or do you care? I don't know. Overall, like throughout the day, who laughs more? Maybe that one's hard to do. So maybe both. What about religious versus non-religious people? I see that. So if you have a belief system, are you more happy than if you don't have a belief system? I think that you're happier if you have a belief system because there's some things in life that can't be explained right now. And so if you have something to believe in that's bigger than right now, I think that gives you hope. And so I think that, I don't know that it matters which belief system. I think it just matters that it is a belief system, that you are holding, like there's something bigger than yourself to hold on to. And I mean, that makes sense that I believe that because that's exactly how my parents raised us. They didn't really hark on what to call a higher being, just that we believe that there was one and that exists. Yeah. Yes. You might now, if you do like go with somebody who's more religious, sometimes there's judgment that comes along with it. Make sure you'll hit the like as you come in. So far, is it fat versus skinny and religious versus non-religious? What else? People who follow sports versus people who don't. What's that called? A sports fanatic. So a sports fanatic versus somebody who doesn't follow them. Over the course of a year, who's happier? I'm going to say, I think it's a sports fanatic. I think they're happier. I think that they, I mean, it spikes and valleys, right? It moves a lot. But when they're looking for, like when their team's about to play somebody, that's right. When their team's about to play somebody, they think they're happier. Now, I have to tell you, when I was a cheerleader back in high school, my the football team that we cheered for was not good. We were always doing whatever cheers were about, keep your spirits up. We did not have a good football team. We had a good swim team, and they don't have cheerleaders, so that didn't help. But we didn't have a football team, and we were always like trying to get the crowd to pay attention to us or do something fun because the team wasn't going to give you what you needed. They didn't have it. I have really good memories of it, though. Okay, let's do one more. First, that's right. What's one more? And if you come up with one, let me know too. So we had sports fanatics versus non-sports fanatics. And then, I got one. Married versus single. However you're single. If you're divorced single, or if you're originally single, a gold star single, which means you've never been married. Is that what we should call that? Gold star singles. Because gold star, never mind. Let's say gold star singles versus people who are married. What do I consider happy? I consider the I consider a positive outlook happy. Yeah. Uh, oh, you say gold star singles. Gold star singles. I'm trying to think of what gold star singles I have in my life. The gold star singles I have in my life have at least had long-term relationships. I don't know anybody who hasn't had at least a 2-year relationship with somebody. Um, for me, happy has to do with happy and contented. For me, happy has to do with how much you laugh, how much you enjoy the actual daily progress of life, how much you enjoy life. Can you sit by a fire and be enchanted by it? And can you stand outside on your porch and be reminded about how big the world is and where you can find your place? And it's about movement, like this positive movement forward, I think is what I think is happy. Interesting question. I know. Let's see. Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's ask if there's any questions that we could ask if he's for fun about that. We could certainly jump into it. Did we do a fourth one? After sports? Oh yeah, married and single. And then here's one. Let's do the other side of it. Would you rather be divorced or widowed? Which one do you think one would have a possibility of being happy after? Hi, Sudu Sharma. Sudu Sharma. What an interesting name. Hi, everybody. Everybody can see our Marie and Jill and Sudu. Hi. Thanks for joining me. I'm not sure who else is here, but I see the numbers. So let's do some pendulum since we're gathered. Probably Whittle, although, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about that. Would it be easier if somebody was taken from you by life, like they died, or if they chose to not be around you anymore? That rejection's kind of hard. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they're kind of equal. Well, my pendulum is giving us a. I didn't ask anything, so right now it's just kind of hanging out. I go, oh, here's a yes. Yes. So let's see if we're ready for some pendulum. I'll ask it. It can tell me. Are we ready for some pendulum? Some yes, no? No, we're not. It's look at that, back and forth. That's a no. Let's ground, and I'll get us a card, and then we'll start asking some questions. So for grounding, I want you to take 3 deep breaths in through the nose. We're going to go out through the mouth. I am taking questions. I'm just about to. Jill, while we're looking at that, please hit the like button as you come in. While we're thinking about that, there are 3 relationships I have right now that if that person was to die right now, it would be a really tough thing to get over. And so I think that means I'm supposed to fix those relationships. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. But I am taking questions. As I shuffle the deck, can we do a grounding? We're going to do 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. I know. You know what? You're fantastic at that, Jill. Thank you so much. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth to release your day so far. I guess I have our first spread. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth to ground. I want you to try to become really heavy in your seat. The next one, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth to connect with me. Now, there are 4 cards that jumped out of my deck. This one actually jumped on the ground, so we definitely need to look at this guy. This is Satiety. This is about fulfilling relationships. And you see how many there are? This is the 10 of Cups. So this is about really honoring those relationships that have been mutually beneficial, that you've gotten some love and life out of. And remembering that, people are going to disappoint you because none of us are perfect. And for those that you value, if you value the relationship, that's when you want to consider trying to be able to forgive it, right? There's that guy. Then this guy, one of my favorites, the Knight of Cups. This is for all of us. So we have 2 Cups cards so far. The 10 of Cups, which is about fulfilling relationships, close ones. The Knight of Cups, which is all, he's a romantic and he's optimistic. We were talking about happy, and I was saying how it has to do with bounce back. He's all about that. He is offering this cup to the universe. He's all about seeing the best of every single situation. And I want you to notice that he has on green. And so this card is about creativity and clarity, green and blue. And so this is really about however you can, in your ingenious way, appreciating, loving, being optimistic about what is and what is to come and the options that you have. Then we had the Devil inverted. So this is telling me the majority of us who are sharing the space with me right now, we've been playing a little too much. It's time to get serious. I love my Devil card. Do you see what this Devil card looks like? It's so clear what it is, right? So do you think the people who made this deck are like feminists because they made the devil look like that? I do. And then lastly, after the devil card is the Hermit. So this is not going to be a weekend for being out and crazy and in front of a whole lot of people. This is about internal work. There's some stuff that we need to do on the inside. And what's important, I think, about the Hermit card is the Hellhound. See those 3 hounds right there? Those are the Hellhounds. Do you know Harry Potter had one of the movies had one of these guys in there. It was kind of cool. It was like a 2 or 3 headed thing. It was based on the same thing this is. And that's to warn you against depression, overthinking, going into the negative, that there's a possibility when you start looking to your inner light that you'll be distracted by the shadow that comes through, because we learn through hard times. And so while you're looking at the light, make sure you don't follow the wrong guy so that you're real sad. Let's see. Who wants to do some more cards? Who wants their own individual cards? So that was for us. We had an actual spread, and I was just trying to shuffle. Well, while we were doing our deep breaths and grounding, we had some information come up. All right, so let's see. Marie's ready for a card. I'm ready to pull one for you, I think. Hold on, I need to shuffle a little bit more. I've actually never had that feeling that I need to shuffle more, but that's what they're telling me. So yours must need a minute. Maybe your people are coming over here, Marie. Let's get your card and see what we need. All right. So I'm going to spread them out. I'm going to shake out my hand and use my non-dominant hand to grab your card for you, Marie. Let's see what we need. I feel like you've been really nervous this week for some reason. Something came up that was making you nervous, but I can feel you in my belly. And the card that you got is change. So this is whatever is up that's going to be changing your routine or your daily goings on. It feels like there's 2 opposite forces that are changing right now, and that results in you having to restructure your day or your week, restructure your daily operations. And so whatever that is, you saw it coming and were uneasy about it. And now it's kind of manifested. So this weekend, while you've got your Hermit card and while you're looking at it, you're like, you need to put together a plan A and a plan B, because the things that are changing, it's working in such a way that you could miss this. It is possible to mess up. And so you want to have plan A and plan B and possibly a plan C. Just make sure that you have some like a flow chart of what to do if things work out and then if they don't. And they have to be really close options. Does that make sense? Like, you know how when you're potty training a kid, you have to have 3 or 4 outfits around. You have to, because they're going to go through them. So that kind of thing. What do you have for the margin of error that you need for the next couple of weeks? That's what I want you to focus on. Hope that helps. Does anybody else need any cards? You can do it. We're going to do whatever work we have to. We have to. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? Hello, small one. Okay, I'm on a live. Yes, please ask a question. You good? All right. Let's see. You're very, very welcome. Sudo, go ahead and ask your question. Joe, you can pop one in there if you have one. I don't think I missed any for you. Let me see. I think I'm caught up. Okay, anything that you need to know for Joe. Let me spread these out. By the way, if you want to get your own personal reading, to just reach out to me. Hi Tarot on everything. HAITAROT on all social media. And that's how you get to me. I'm gonna pull a card for Jill. Anything you need to know. Jill, this really, really, really came to me, your card. And this is the Four of Cups. So luxury. So luxury is like the highest expression of abundance right before you get to braggart. So where you are is interesting because you have like this, all your resources are covered, but for some reason, there's the chance that you'll be perceived as braggadocious about whatever it is. So I want you to err on the side of conservative in purchases and discussions and stuff. I don't know why it's saying that we're coming across that in your closer relationships. You want to just be a little bit more guarded about how much, something was, or how long you were able. I don't know. There's something about what you have that makes people kind of feel envious. And so the way you share information about whatever you have going on right now is important. And I want you to be careful that people are sensitive to it. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong, but that people are sensitive to how you're moving right now. I hope that makes sense. And that be more conservative than you have been, and just a little bit more delicate in how you deliver certain information. The question that I have here from Sudu is this guy named Utsav wanting to come back to harm you? Oh, I hope not. Let's see. Utsav. I don't know if I'm saying that name right. Okay. Is the guy named Utsav wanting to come back to harm me? Wanting to come back to harm Sudu? No. Not at all. No, and from what I can see, the way this is swinging, it feels like there's a little bit of over attachment on either side, and it's best to kind of move away from that. Person's not coming back, and I don't think that you should be spending energy on like thinking about them. They're like really on to other things. Jill, I'll speak to you. You're saying that you're in a place where you're thriving now. It's interesting when you start thriving, because one of the things that happened when I started thriving is I found that my health was a problem for my relationship. And that was upsetting. Like, how could me being better hurt a relationship? And every single time that that my confidence started to get itself together, and I started to get myself together, and things were like my feet were my legs were getting strong underneath me, and I was able to kind of stand up on my own and be independent and use my own skills and believe in myself. When my health was happening, then also problems. Everything got harder in the relationship. And then I realized that was a reflection of where it came from. We kind of came together when I wasn't healthy, and that was the only way it would work. And I wasn't willing to stay sick, to stay there. Does that make sense? I'd rather be healthy over here than dependent and unhealthy over there. I felt that was blasphemy. I feel like I was given enough to be healthy, and that's what I should do, and so it's a hard conversation to have with yourself when it means, that it might mean that you got to do it by yourself. So Jazzy J has a question. You're welcome to. Will H ever offer K commitment? Will H ever offer K commitment? Yeah, you're absolutely right, Jill. And you know what, Jill? That's one of the first steps of being in a relationship with someone who. That's the exact same concept that an abuser uses. So how far is it from abuse? I don't know. But Jill wants it. Will H ever offer K commitment? So I've got this no that is now an oval. So H may offer K commitment, but it is conditional. And that's up to K. If K wants to deal with that kind of conditional commitment, they can. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know that how conditional it is. So, but the answer is an oval. So they'll be offered it, but they will have to like agree to certain things in order to have it. So it's going to be up to K whether or not they take it. Yeah. It's very that whole changing positions was really I couldn't understand what. You're welcome. I couldn't understand what was happening. I was like, hey, how come every time I feel better, we're in a fight? Oh, could my feeling better be causing the fight? That can't be. Why would that happen? Really did. Who else? Any other questions? We got my deck here. Make sure you're hitting the like as you come in, everybody. Doing really good on my channel. I am going up faster than I was. So I appreciate you guys whenever y'all come up and spend some time with me, please. Know that I appreciate you. I really do. Do we have any other questions here in the room? We've got about 4 more minutes probably. I can pull one for us while we're waiting. Let's pull something while we're waiting. What do we need to see and hear about as a group? I completely trust my cards. They're fantastic. Look at that. Thank you so much. So check this out. What did I pull? What do we need to know for a group? Unrest. You know, I believe that. This is the peace card, but it's inverted. The cool thing about the peace card is you've got all this origami. And so I like that it's origami because it shows that it's paper willed into the shape. This is about you shaping something as simple as paper into meaning. You shape the paper into the meaning. But when we have it inverted like this is talking about unpeace. So unpeace is like undead, which is something that has come back from the dead, right? Which is good for Halloween. This is pretty good pull. So unpeace is something that has come back from peace. It was okay. It did work. We did agree, but it's not peace anymore. So somebody has either not fulfilled their agreement, somehow crossed a boundary for you, and what was peaceful is not anymore. This is unpeace. This is inverted. And so that means for you and me and everybody who's listening, everybody who watches later, if you come across this, what recently had the scab pulled off of it? And it's now it went from the category of being peaceful for you or providing peace to not providing peace. It doesn't feel like it's a huge tower type of destruction type of card. It's just an agreement that's no longer being upheld. It's a boundary that's been kind of violated. And this is a nice time to, send a little email, a little text you can put as many smiley emojis before and after it that you want to, but you want to make sure the information in is like, hey, that's my neck you're stepping on. Would you mind removing your foot? Or whatever, however you would do that to get yourself back to a place where that boundary is no longer being pushed. And I think it's important to remember that when you lower your standard, they become settling. Ugh. And who wants that? Nobody wrote a great book about like how I settled and was happy for. Nobody wants to do that. You know what, Jill? As far as card maintenance, I think that it's a good idea. Oh, we've got this cool full moon that's happening tomorrow. And one way to cleanse your cards is to put them in order, put them all in order. So you separate them out by suit and then you put them in order in those suits, and you put them together, and that cleanses your deck. And so that's a good idea. And you could do it, and then on a full moon, it's a great time to cleanse your deck and get some of that nice cool energy. It's like a blue moon or something that's happening. Like it hasn't happened since 1944, something like that. And then it's not gonna happen again until I think it's like 2039. It's a really cool moon that we have coming up for Halloween. So hopefully that helps. And then you can pull a card on me. Tell me what all this craziness is about. I want one more card before we go, because it feels like what needs to happen. So if you have any questions, pop them in there. I'm going to pull one more card for us as a collective. Ooh, it feels so full. The room, it feels full. Everything feels really heavy right now. Let's see what card we need. So this is about disempowerment. So we looked at dis-peace or unpeace and unempowerment, because the torch on this card, the Ace of Wands, this is kind of like the torch that they light at the Olympics, and it stays lit the whole time. So it's about endurance, and it's about stamina. Inverted like this, we're out of endurance and we're out of stamina. Whatever we have been hammering on, the damn head of the hammer fell off, and it's not something we can hit on anymore. We can't force our way through it. Power isn't going to do it. I'm sorry, not power, but brawn isn't going to do it. We can't shove through whatever it is. And so when you have this, when you don't have that stamina, you have to sit back. You have to see the valley that you're in. What is up on that side? What is up on that side? Where are you? What do you have to work with? And that's kind of where we landed right now with this. And so what does that have to do with, what does being disempowered and what does dis-peace have to do with this moment? Where do you see disempowerment? Where do you see dis-peace? That's what's being called to be healed right now. And more direction on, like, if you need, like, where exactly it is, tarot can help. So you can book a session for that. Also, you can go into a dark room, close your eyes, find silence, and listen to the first voice you hear. It's the best way to get through it. All right. So I think that does it. I think that feels complete enough for a pause. If we come back and meet again tonight, I would love to see you guys. If you hit the notification bell, you know when I come on. It has been spectacular spending time with you. Thank you all. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, everybody who's here. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.